They said it was just another farewell concert, another bow, another goodbye. But he knew, deep inside, that this one was different. This was not a goodbye to the crowd. This was a goodbye to life itself. Backhand index pointing right if you love real emotional rock stories. Subscribe to the channel Voices of Darkness right now, and like or share this video with your friends. He knew it would be his last show. Sharon Osbourne reveals Ozzy's final moments. The room was quiet in a way Sharon Osbourne had never heard before. Not the peaceful kind. Not the comforting kind. It was a kind of silence that presses against your chest until breathing feels like work. Sharon Osbourne sat beside the bed, her fingers wrapped around the thin, trembling hand of the man she had loved for more than 4 decades. His skin was pale, almost translucent, but his grip, though weak, still carried the familiar stubbornness she had known all her life. Ozzy Osbourne was awake. His eyes, once wild and uncontainable, now moved slowly around the room as if he were taking mental photographs, saving moments he knew he wouldn't get back. "Sharon," he whispered. She leaned in instantly. "I'm here, Oz. I'm right here." He swallowed, then smiled faintly. "I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I went out there one last time." The secret he never said out loud weeks earlier. The world had seen headlines. Ozzy Osbourne announced his final performance. The Prince of Darkness takes his last bow. Fans cried. Critics reflected. Rock history paused to watch a legend close the curtain. But what no one knew, what only Sharon would later reveal, was this. Ozzy knew it would be his last show long before anyone else did. Not because a doctor told him, not because of a medical chart or a diagnosis update, that he felt it. The morning of the show, Ozzy woke before the sun. His body hurt in places he couldn't explain anymore. Parkinson's had taken its toll. Surgeries had left scars both visible and hidden, and years of living fast had finally sent the bill. Sharon found him sitting at the edge of the bed. Staring at the floor. "You okay?" she asked as he nodded, but didn't look up. After a long pause, he said quietly, "Promise me something." She froze. "What?" "Promise me you won't stop me. No matter how bad I look. No matter how shaky I am." Her heart sank. "Oz, I need to do this," he said, finally lifting his eyes. "Not for them. For me." She saw it then. Not fear. Not denial. Acceptance. Backstage. A legend struggling to stand. The backstage hallways smelled like metal, sweat, and electricity, just like it always had. But this time was different. Crew members avoided eye contact. Musicians spoke softly. Everyone felt it. Ozzy sat in his chair while assistants adjusted his coat and microphone. His hands shook violently now, worse than usual. He tried to hide them by gripping the armrests. Sharon knelt in front of him, straightening his jacket. "You don't have to do this," she whispered one last time. He chuckled weakly. "I've been doing things I shouldn't do my whole life." She laughed through tears, then very softly. He said something that shattered her. "If I died tomorrow, at least I died as me." The walk to the stage when the stage manager said, 2 minutes. Ozzy closed his eyes. He wasn't praying. He was remembering. He remembered the first time he ever sang into a microphone. Terrified, unsure, hungry. He remembered Birmingham, the cold streets, the hunger that made crime feel like survival. He remembered forming Black Sabbath, not knowing they were about to change music forever. He remembered the madness, the addiction, the mistakes that nearly killed him. He remembered Sharon, fighting for him when no one else would, loving him when he didn't love himself. The lights dimmed, the crowd roared, and somehow, against every medical warning, every physical limit, Ozzy Osbourne stood up. The moment the crowd didn't see from the audience, it looked triumphant. From the outside, it looked powerful. But Sharon saw what the cameras didn't. She saw his legs buckle for half a second. She saw the pain flash across his face before he forced a grin. She saw him take one shaky breath and step forward anyway as he reached center stage. The noise became overwhelming. Thousands of voices screamed his name. "O-Z-Z-Y, Ozzy, Ozzy." His eyes filled with tears. Not because he was sad, because he finally understood what he meant to them. He raised his arms slowly, almost painfully. "I love you all," he said, voice cracking. And in that moment, Sharon knew this wasn't a performance. This was a farewell letter written in sound. Singing through pain, every song cost him something. Each lyric pulled air from lungs that didn't want to cooperate. Each movement sent lightning through his nerves, but he never stopped. Not once. During one song, his voice faltered. The band softened instinctively. The crowd began singing with him, thousands of strangers carrying him when his body couldn't anymore. Sharon covered her mouth backstage. "This is it," she whispered. "This is a goodbye." Ozzy looked out at the crowd like a man burning the image into his soul. Later, Sharon would say, he wasn't singing to them. He was thanking them. After the final note, when the last chord rang out, Ozzy stood motionless. The applause didn't stop. Minutes passed, he bowed, slowly, carefully. Then he turned toward the wings. As soon as he was out of sight, his strength collapsed. Security caught him before he hit the floor. Sharon rushed him. "I did it," he whispered, barely conscious. "Yes, you did," she cried. "You were amazing." He smiled faintly. "Now I can rest." The final days and the days that followed, Ozzy grew quieter. He didn't talk much. He didn't watch TV. He didn't ask about the world. But he smiled more. He held Sharon's hand constantly, as if afraid that letting go might make everything disappear. One night, he said, "Promise me they'll remember me, not for the madness, but for the music." "They will," she said. "I promise." Another night, he added, "Tell them I love them, even the ones who hated me." She nodded through tears. Ozzy's last words on his final morning. The room was bathed in soft light. Ozzy stirred, struggling to open his eyes. Sharon leaning. He looked at her for a long time. Then he said, "You saved me more times than you know." She broke down completely. "And you saved me, too," she replied. His grip loosened, his breathing slowed, and with a final, peaceful exhale, the Prince of Darkness went silent, not in chaos, not in pain, but in peace. What Sharon wants the world to know when Sharon finally spoke publicly. Her message was simple. Ozzy didn't fear death. He feared leaving without saying goodbye. That last show was his goodbye to the world. And the world listened. Backhand index pointing right. If you love Ozzy Osbourne, share this video right now. Backhand index pointing right, subscribe to Voices of Darkness and help us complete the 1,000 subscribers target. Backhand index pointing right, prove your love for a legend who gave everything, even his last breath, to music. Ozzy Osbourne didn't just perform until the end, he lived until the end.